Back out on the site. Got the roofing crew up here today, and they are starting to put the underlayment up on the house. And this is a good sight to see. Now, we tore that junk off there that I had up there, and we're putting the good stuff up now. And I am really looking forward to it. Looking forward to having some steel on here. I'm hoping they can do that next week. But there's a storm coming tomorrow, and they wanted to get it watertight to keep everything so that they can, as soon as the rain is gone and it's dried off, they want to be able to get out here and really make it happen. Now that is pretty. I gotta say, that is pretty. Wow. That is completely different. And that's not even the roof yet. It's been a struggle to get this far, but this is very satisfying. Things are starting to get a good feel. I'm starting to feel like we've got some momentum, and really looking forward to getting this thing knocked out, getting a real roof put on here so that I can do all my work on the weekends and on my time off, putting in windows and getting this thing dried in. Pretty happy about this. Well, you got all that stuff rolled out in half a day. I couldn't even come close. I'm pretty happy about this. I shut it off, baby. I just figured it was going that way now. Alright, that's one. That should fit in there nice. Right. Today is Saturday. This is the weekend right after New Year's. And we were really looking forward to it because we had 4 days lined up that I could be out here working. I think she had 3 that she could work. Unfortunately, it rained buckets all day yesterday. Tomorrow is supposed to be raining as well, but they have done such a fantastic job with the underlayment on this place that we're staging things tonight so that we can be in here tomorrow and get some work done, because there's lots of little detail stuff that has to be done. In addition to that, we're knocking out a couple of things today. I went into town and bought the chimney pieces that I need to extend my chimney to the proper height. I'm going to go ahead and get those on before the sun completely goes away. It is, if you can see right there, it is dropping down behind the mountain as we speak. Now, there were a few pieces of trim, wooden trim, that still needed to be put on here. A couple pieces of fascia where we put that last panel on the roof, and I wanted to go ahead and get that taken care of this weekend so I wouldn't be up here on a ladder by myself trying to do that. I'll be up on a ladder caulking the seams to make sure everything is as airtight as I can possibly get it. But handling a caulk gun by yourself is a lot different than swinging boards around by yourself. So I'd like to have somebody around who can call 911 if I fall off a ladder. There are a couple spots up in here. As you can see, I've got that one edge right there that needs fascia put on. So I'm gonna get these splines hung in there and get it all pieced together. I'm probably gonna have to use 3 boards just because we are at the very end of what we have purchased for lumber. We don't have much left, so there's no reason to run into town and buy another 2x10 when I can take a 2x12 and cut it down. So, having never actually done this before, it goes on. I want to try and get the seams kind of in the same place. How do I know?
You pull up?
What's that?
If you pull up, does it?
Well, no, it doesn't come off.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure I've got it locked in as far as it locks in.
Right.
You know, put the locking band on it. Do you have any preference on where the screw is, if it shows?
No, I won't be able to see it from here.
What's that?
I can't see it from here. We are taking the sticker off though, right?
After inspection, sure. There we are. Take my gloves off here. I will put them on before I mess with the next one, because that will probably hurt my hand. Now, anybody who's watching this and knows anything about chimneys knows that this is combustible and it's touching the chimney pipe. It's only doing that because we're trying to keep this as watertight as possible until they actually put the metal roof on. When they put the metal roof on, they will lay the appropriate steel flashing and stainless steel flashing all the way around it. You'll have a rain band with high temp silicone. This will all be cut away well beyond the 2-inch designation for distance to combustibles. But right now we're trying to keep it from getting wet. There we go. That is nice and snug and fits around it the way it's supposed to. And again, there will be a bracing system that attaches to the roof as well, and that will be attached right about here. All right, so since we just learned a little something from the last one that we did, we're gonna put this on here and move it down a little bit. What I did was move this little brace down below here. That way I don't have to try and thread it down over top, which was a little silly. Okay, that puppy is on there. Now, all right. Pretty good to me. That is tight. Okay, now that is the chimney right there. And there were some questions about the height of the chimney that I was putting on here. This is a 4 in 12 roof. Because it is a 4 in 12 roof, and you're following the 3-2-10 rule. The 3-2-10 rule means it has to come up out of the roof at least 3 feet, and it has to be at least 2 feet above anything that it is within 10 feet of, which means when you go straight that direction, parallel to the ground, 10 feet, this has to stand 2 feet higher than that point. That would require 64 inches. This is more than 64 inches. 64 inches is 5 feet, 4 inches. I just attached 5 feet of pipe, and I already had 13.5 inches coming out. We are good to go. Get the mounts on this thing, and it should be perfect. Oh, got one more thing to do. I almost forgot. I got to put my cap on top. My whole reason for doing this tonight was so that when we're in here tomorrow, I don't have rain falling down the chimney.
You're reading instructions?
I am reading the instructions.
Good for you.
You make it sound like I don't always read the instructions, honey. Yeah, see, good thing I read the instructions. I was thinking this was a pressure fit, and then I pushed it down, and this went up in there and would kind of hold onto it that way. No, I'm supposed to move it so that I can use this with that steel band and band it to the top of this thing. That is how this puppy goes on here, just like that. There we are, nice and snug, ain't going nowhere. I like that. Folks, that's all I got for tonight. Like I said, I had to go into the city this morning to fix a few things, and I'm going to share this beautiful sunset with you just before I go. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, I can fix that. It's a little crooked. A little crooked. Hey, we decided to answer some questions that people have been firing at us. We get a lot of questions from both people that we know in the comment sections on YouTube, that kind of thing. So we figured we'd go ahead and address some of it.
All right, let's dive in. So how did we come up with that idea? What made us do this?
To do a farm?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we were crazy. We got married at a vineyard, and we had been helping our friends who own the vineyard with harvest. And she made the unfortunate mistake of telling me that she wanted to be involved in something like this because she loved it, being outside, working outside, nature. It was beautiful. It's very easy and romanticized when you're at somebody else's place and they've already done 10 years of really, really hard work.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you don't have a full idea of what you're getting into.
But we had the idea.
Yeah.
So
we have owned the land for 5 years now. 4 years ago, we planted 400 apple trees, and the next year we planted another 100 apple trees too.
And at the time, we had 3 teenagers.
Yes.
With us.
And they loved it.
No, not at all.
250-mile round trip to get to the place, and they just weren't digging it.
Well, they didn't see the vision.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No.
And we put the camper up there, and I might be the only one, but I loved it. Like, I loved it. I couldn't wait to blow out of town on a Friday after work and get up there and be in the camper for the weekend, working in the excavator and in the tractor.
So from there, how did we come up with the design of the house? What was our thought pattern with that?
At first, we were trying to do like a container home. We wanted to do something kind of radical with a container home where you put a bunch of them together and weld them together, and that you could go into and you could have high ceilings and a wall of glass to look out on the mountain.
So modern, kind of industrial look.
Yeah.
But we went away from that just because of
There were definitely some design limitations there. As you moved into trying to make a container do things that a container's not designed to do, your expense went up significantly. So you had to have steel reinforcements. There's a lot of stuff that you were going to have to put into it.
So our goals were energy efficient,
Yeah,
kind
absolutely.
of modern design, industrial, easy to clean, low maintenance,
Definitely low maintenance.
energy costs. Those are all our goals.
Yeah. And then we had to fit it into our budget. And the only way to fit it into our budget was to build it ourselves. We looked at, I even took it to somebody, took it to a builder and had them look at the design. And he told me that I'd be spending about $500,000 just to have the house built.
And we had our friend who's an architect who did the drawings for us, and that was a big boost.
Yeah.
Also, he was a great example because he builds things and
He's a successful architect, but he also designs and builds his own things. And in so doing, when you see these things, you don't realize how talented he is.
Yeah.
And you think, well, yeah, he can do that. I can do that. Sure, I can do that. And that's probably pretty much the problem I have most of the times. I think, oh, somebody else could do it. Why can't I do it?
so our building experience, that leads us to our building experience. How much do we have?
Today is the last day, and that might be the last deer of the season for somebody. Oh, you know what they say. 1 shot deer, 2 shots maybe deer. 3 shots, no deer. That is what they say. Well, there's 3. Well, maybe there was more than 1 deer.
Alright, that puppy is on there. No, it's not. It's not on there all the way. Come on. It's got a little spot where it's not on there. Let's see if there's something wrong with the way that it's joined. Nope, it's all the way joined. There we go. That will do it.
But, and shine that up with my fat belly.
Did you put lime in there?
Yeah.
You know what?
Have you ever heard of Earl Grey?
Yes.
It has lime in it.
Does it?
Yes, it has a lime that grows in England.
Huh, that's weird.
I could be making that up.
I think you were.